On behalf of our president, Roland, aka Rick Walker, our executive, our membership, we would like to thank all of you for coming along and helping us celebrate Canada Day. I'd just like to reflect a little bit. In the last few weeks, Canadians have been enlightened to all of the graves that we have found at different locations at the Aboriginal residential schools in Canada. It is indeed regretful time in our history. Unfortunately, history cannot be undone. However, we can learn from this heartbreaking loss of so many children of Canada. I encourage all of you to read the Trust and Reconciliation Committee call to action to educate yourself and to allow you to make an informed decision on why the recommendations have not yet been enacted. It is also important for us to remember the good times of Canada and our peoples and why we are so proud to call ourselves Canadians. So on that note, I'll ask you to please stand while we give a minute of silence for the children. Thank you. I'd now like to introduce our president, Comrade Rick Walker, to say a few words.
One of my favorite things is public speaking. Again, I'm going to just thank all of you for showing up today. It was a big decision to have Canada Day in light of all the things that have happened anyway. I'd like to thank the community businesses who always support our Canada Day fireworks. I'd like to thank our municipal councillor, Tina Connors. She couldn't be here today, but she has always supported us through the MODC. I have to thank the Canadian Heritage Fund for their yearly support for our fireworks. Merci beaucoup. I wasn't good at French either. We all need to be deserved for the great work we've done during the past 16, 17 months. I mean, we kept ourselves and all Nova Scotians safe. Hurrah! You know, we've done a great job. People from Ontario and the rest of Canada come here to live now. I would like to recognize all your sacrifices and some of your simple rights and civil liberties during these times, such as masking, waiting in long lines, businesses being shut down. And I'd just like to say thank you for all doing all that. It worked out great. But as a Royal Canadian Legion, please take a moment to recognize that these little sacrifices for the last 18 months or 16 months were earned by our veterans and their families over many years. So each time you drive past this wonderful monument, take a second and remember them. Yes, again, as mentioned by Gina's husband there, Ron, this Canada of ours, as great as it is, it has a painful history. I printed off the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report, calls to action. It's on a table in there if you want to look at it. It gives you, they did a lot of studies back 5-6 years ago, this commission. And I also printed out another one there. It's a really good read. It's Where Are the Children Buried by Dr. Hamilton. It's very, very informative and something. And the more we know about this stuff, the less you're going to be confused by false information, social media, blow-ups. It's all there. The government's been working hard to reconcile it. And I know if we know enough about it, we will have the compassion and the empathy so we can help our fellow Aboriginal peoples heal.
It would be my pleasure right now to ask our MLA for Chester St. Margaret's Bay, Mr. Hugh McKay, to make a presentation to our Legion.
Before we do that, Ron and I were driving into Halifax last Monday, and he wanted to call the MLA Hugh McKay's number, so he didn't have it in his phone. So I took my phone out. I didn't have my glasses on. So I looked at a number under your website, and we keyed it in. Wrong number. So then I looked again, and I came down past the street address, and we put in another number. Of course, we got a guy answer it, and he said, "Hello?" And I said, "Yeah, is Hugh there?" He said, "Hugh who?" So we hung up. So without further ado, this is Hugh who.
Knock, knock, Hugh who. President Rowland, thank you very much, and Legion executive members and new Rossers. It's good to see you. I'd first like to follow on what President Rowland was saying, that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the traditional and unceded land of the Mi'kmaq people, and we are all treaty people. And on this Canada Day, across our nation, we're seeing communities that are holding gatherings or have changed perhaps a bit in how they're recognizing Canada Day. And many of us are using it as a day of reflection to think about the tremendous loss at the residential schools and about our relationship with our First Nations people. And the fact that we're glad reconciliation is occurring. There's still a lot of work to be done. We can't correct those mistakes of the past, but we can move forward in friendship and in reconciliation. Several years ago, more than I'd like to think probably, 1991, I was working on a pretty exciting project mapping all of Great Britain, all of the United Kingdom. And during that time I had the opportunity to be invited by the British military to give a presentation on our project to their survey and mapping people based in Felton in the UK. And when I finished that presentation, they kindly bestowed a map to me. It's a two-sided map, Germany on one side and France still on the other. And it's a fabric map. It's a fabric map. It was produced by the British military, their military survey. And it was done immediately after the Second World War. And so if we could flip around here again, fellas. The map shows the occupation zones of the Allied forces that occupied Germany for some time after the Second World War. So we see the Russian zone, the British zone, the French zone, and the American zone here. Now it's a good thing it's a two-sided map, because following that program, I ended up living in Germany and having an office in Munich, in Germany. I kept the French side out of the map rather than the occupied zones of Germany facing out to everybody in my office. So we got past that. But at any rate, it hung in my office for many, many years. One thing I've always appreciated is the personal and professional support that I've received from so many people here in New Ross over the term of my term as your MLA. And it didn't matter what people's personal political allegiance may have been. Not everybody up here is a liberal, apparently. But I always felt very warm, very welcome when I came to New Ross, no matter what people's political allegiance was. And I hope that I've served everyone here to the best of my ability, no matter what their political allegiance may have been. And I'm going to carry with me some very, very warm remembrances of my times up here. So it's my pleasure to leave a little bit of me behind, I guess, in New Ross, and to present this map to the Royal Canadian Legion, branch number 79, here in New Ross. And my pleasure to present this to you today.
I'd like to now introduce the Liberal candidate that will hopefully be replacing Hugh, and it's Jacob Killamwee.
I just wanted to thank you very much all for having me here today. It is a very sensitive day. It's wonderful to see everyone making such an effort to both celebrate our wonderful country and acknowledge the challenges of the past. It's very important that we continue to acknowledge our past, be in the present, and continue to embrace the challenges of our future, whatever they might be. We have to be accustomed to doing that together, and doing it in the way in which we are here by being together in this wonderful community you all have is an excellent opportunity for me in my own personal journey. So thank you for allowing myself and my family, my wife Megan and my daughter Camille, to be here with you all today and celebrating our country's birth in that regard. So with that, again, thank you, and my apologies for not being more prepared standing here before you at this moment. So please do all have a wonderful day, and happy Canada Day.
When the sun goes down on my side of town, that lonesome feeling comes to my door, and the whole world turns blue. There's a rundown bar across the railroad track. I got a table for two waiting back. I'll savor on and think of losing. I spend most every night beneath the lights of a neon moon. Oh, if you lose your one and only, there's always room here for the lonely. Watch your broken dreams dancing out of the beams of a neon. ain't never gonna end. Oh, I'll be alright as long as there's light from a neon moon. Oh, if you sure want it only, there's always room here for the lonely. Watch your broken dreams dancing in and out of the beams of a neon moon. Watch your broken dreams dancing in and out of the beams of a neon moon. Just a good old boy. You know my mama loves me. When she don't understand, they keep on showing my hands and my mama's on TV, making their way. The only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the wall around. Making their way, really higher. That's just a little bit more than the wall around. Just a good old boy. Yeah, they wouldn't change it, they could. Fighting system, all we gonna do. Making their way. The only way they know how. Someday